What if I told you the dumbest creature on Earth has outlived the dinosaurs? And what if I told you the smartest animals alive today can recognize themselves in mirrors, call each other by name, and even teach their children culture? Today we're ranking 12 animals by intelligence, from the simplest survivors with an IQ of just 1, all the way up to nature's geniuses scoring 80, just a step below us. But here's the twist. Intelligence doesn't always mean what you think it does. Sometimes it's raw memory, sometimes it's empathy, sometimes it's teamwork, and sometimes it's a brain so alien we can barely understand it. From brainless sponges to calculating bees, from empathetic elephants to political chimps, and finally to the ocean's social masterminds, this countdown will completely change the way you see the animal kingdom. Because once you realize how many different forms intelligence can take, you might start to wonder, are we really as unique as we think we are? Imagine a creature with no brain at all, yet it has survived longer than the dinosaurs. At the bottom of our list is the sea sponge. With no nervous system, no thoughts, and no memory, its intelligence is pure survival instinct, and it's done that for 600 million years. On our scale, that's an IQ of just 1, not because it's stupid, but because its design is so simple, it doesn't need more. But what happens when you add movement, nerves, and even eyes, but still no brain? Next up is the jellyfish, 500 million years old, older than trees. Its nerve net and 24 eyes guide it through the oceans. Some species, like the box jellyfish, can even learn to avoid obstacles. Memory without a brain. For that, they get a relative IQ of 2. And if a brainless jellyfish can remember, imagine what happens when neurons first begin to form. Enter the sea slug. Just 20,000 neurons, yet it can form both short and long-term memory. These simple creatures even taught scientists how learning itself works. On our scale, the sea slug climbs to an IQ of 3. But what if evolution packed intelligence into something the size of your fingernail? Meet the honeybee. With less than 1 million neurons, bees count, recognize zero, and even solve basic math puzzles. They dance to share directions and make collective decisions as a colony. On our IQ scale, bees score a surprising 10. And if bees can do math, what about the birds we see every day in our cities? The pigeon, mocked as rats with wings, but able to memorize over 1,800 images, recognize artistic styles, and navigate across continents. Masters of memory with an IQ of 20. Still, memory is one thing, but what about animals that understand us? That's where the dog shines. For 30,000 years, dogs have evolved alongside humans. They read our gestures, understand our words, and bond with us so deeply their brains release oxytocin, just like a child with a parent. Dogs land an IQ of 30. But intelligence isn't just about loyalty, it's also about problem solving. And that's where their farmyard rival takes the lead. Pigs use mirrors, learn puzzles, and even show empathy. If pigs were treated like dogs, we'd call them geniuses. They earn an IQ of 35. And while pigs surprise us, their smaller cousins might impress us even more. Enter the rat. These curious survivors solve mazes, remember events, and even show empathy by rescuing trapped companions. They laugh when tickled and adapt to nearly any environment. On our scale, rats reach an IQ of 40. But brains don't just solve puzzles. They carry memories, emotions, and even grief. Which brings us to the elephant. With the largest land brain, elephants remember water holes for decades, comfort grieving family members, and even perform rituals for the dead. Their wisdom gives them an IQ of 60. But if wisdom belongs to elephants, culture belongs to our closest relatives, the chimpanzee. They use tools, pass on traditions, and master hundreds of signs in sign language. Their social politics, alliances, betrayals, reconciliations mirror our own. On our scale, chimps score an IQ of 75. But there's still one animal whose intelligence may rival our own, and it lives beneath the waves, the dolphin. With brain-to-body ratios second only to humans, dolphins call each other by name, use tools, and teach hunting techniques. They play games and form alliances that last decades. Dolphins claim an IQ of 80. So, from sponges at IQ 1 to dolphins at 80, what does this journey reveal? That intelligence isn't a straight ladder leading up to humans. It's a spectrum. A bee's math, a pigeon's memory, a dog's empathy, an octopus's creativity, an elephant's wisdom, a chimp's culture, a dolphin's play, all are different forms of brilliance. And if nature has invented intelligence so many ways here on Earth, just imagine what kinds of minds might exist beyond it.